make it happen.
And now here's Steve and Michelle.
Y'all ready to rodeo? The chaps are on, the horses are saddled, and the excitement is in the air. It's time to celebrate the best season in Texas. It's rodeo season on Mallet and Michelle in Dripping Springs. I'm Michelle Lewis, and this is my little buckaroo, Steve Mallet.
Giddy up, Michelle. Welcome to the show.
Welcome,
Giddy up.
Steve. Giddy up. Oh, giddy up.
You are really good at that, coming up with those catchy titles like that. I'm impressed. So, got to thank our sponsors today. Can't do the show without our wonderful sponsors.
Nomic Power Solutions.
Backup Power Generation. South Star Bank.
Ooh, South Star Bank. Really love those guys over there. And Jovi Belterra. Wow, they are so nice.
They're nice, and they're just always busy doing something over there.
They are so nice.
That's got to be a great place to
I
live.
asked those women how they get any work done over there with all
people coming and going.
with Larry Mallet going over there. And
they just smile and say, "We're just taking care of business."
Right. And then, of course, Mallet Integrity Team.
Wonderful,
Real estate.
fabulous Mallet Integrity Team.
Who is that guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's a bunch of us. It's all of us. So
That's
thank you to all those sponsors. Our guest today, Willem Visser, who I have never met, but you know quite well, it sounds like.
Well, I know his wife. I've known his wife for over 20 years, back when we all lived in Shady Hollow, which was eons and eons ago, and our kids were little, and we used to switch off babysitting each other's kids, which was nice. And then we used to rent water slides from them when they first started this Amanzi Party Rentals, and now it's a whole conglomerated.
They do all kinds. Apparently, it sounds like they're the largest party rental business or event rental business in the country. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we're going to get Willem in here in a little bit. I have a public service announcement.
I did not do it.
Yeah, you may have actually. From my favorite thing in the whole world, sorry D, social media, specifically TikTok, people are posting videos now that you can eat the packing peanuts that all of your stuff from Amazon comes shipped in. And they're saying that because these packing peanuts, which now are made of like potato starch, because they melt in your mouth, they are edible.
Are these the same people that eat Tide Pods?
Probably.
Because I also saw a TikTok about people now saying that rich people are now eating mermaids. So I thought that's where you were going, and I was going to do a story on
this
it.
This is just your typical average everyday person opening their Amazon package and popping those peanuts in their mouth.
I thought they were styrofoam.
Some of them are styrofoam, but some like the white ones, like some of them, yeah, right, just like that Chick-fil-A cup. Some of them will melt, like when you put water on them, and so people are saying they're edible. But here's the facts: they're not edible. And what people are saying is, well, they're biodegradable. But here's the PSA: biodegradable does not mean safe to eat.
That's right. They're not produced in food-safe conditions.
No, they're probably scooped up off the floor and thrown in that Amazon box. And the way that they're made with some kind of seed oils or something, they can cause cancer and chronic inflammation. So do not eat the packing peanuts. There's your PSA for the day.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. I swear.
It's courtesy of social media.
True.
Have you ever seen anything on social media like, wow, that's a great trend? These new things.
That's stupid. Well, speaking of news, I thought I would talk a little bit about some Dripping Springs news that's coming forth, because as I was driving to my beloved Chick-fil-A that has been closed for a week or a month. I'm sorry, a month.
They knocked that construction out. They just got to it and finished it.
They've got a big covered area now, and now you have to go to a separate area with mobile, which is what I do. So I'm very happy. But what I'm most excited for, most excited for, and I've been watching and I've been waiting, Cedric and I also, is the Shipley Donuts. I'm so excited. Okay. I love Shipley Donuts. They are Texas born and bred. Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. When are they coming?
I don't know. They just put the brand new sign up yesterday.
Oh, there's a sign up. Where's it at?
It's Sawyer Ranch in 290.
Right on the corner?
It's right there in that little shopping center right there.
Oh, okay.
But there's some other news. You know, Cousin Louie opened up. Have you eaten there yet?
Nope. We're going to go Friday night.
Todd and I ate there after church. It was really good. I heard that they were getting out some of the kinks at the very beginning.
It happens in every restaurant.
It always happens. If you tried it at first and you were like, try again. Christian Brothers Automotive is opening up, which is, they've always kind of been a well-known, established place. That we used to go to the one over on Southwest in Southwest Austin. Wells Fargo, they're opening up a brand new branch in Belterra. I did ask around.
It's right across on the same side as Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I asked Susan Kimball with the chamber and asked her if she knew that they were going to be closing the old Wells Fargo, and she said she doesn't think so right now. So they're going to have, it's just going to be another branch.
I think, that's a shame.
I think
that's a historic building. I'd hate to see them shut that. Did you know that when they were building that, they were putting up the siding on the outside, and it was kind of white and orange for a little while, and people on Facebook were saying, are they building a Hooters across from Belterra?
I'm sure people would really like the Hooters for sure.
Nope, just a bank.
No, just a bank. But the latest news was as of this morning. I don't know, because I know you run at the ass crack of dawn in the morning.
Love it.
Did you see helicopters this morning when you were driving back?
Nope.
Okay, so apparently it is not only rodeo season, it is car break-in season, Grand Theft Auto season, and Belterra was once again hit this morning. The Belterra apartments and Belterra apparently really on Lexington, and they had the helicopters and the drones circling. People heard them say they had 3 people caught. Apparently there was one that was still out there, but they were rifling through people's cars. I don't understand why you guys are keeping your cars unlocked and with your guns in your...
Well, even if they're locked, sometimes they'll break the window. Just don't leave anything up in the passenger area that people can see. If you have a backpack or something, or a computer or a wallet, lock it. Either take it in the house or lock it in the trunk.
Sorry.
Oh, that was a good look. Did you get that on YouTube?
Yeah, I did. My headphones fell off. Well, somebody actually saw a discarded laptop in the road, and it was from UT. And so I guess they figured out they couldn't get into that. But traditionally, it's not people that are living in the neighborhood.
No, it could be,
they're gangs that are coming from outside of the area.
Yeah, well, South by is on, which we'll talk about in a minute, but... there lots of people coming here. Maybe while they come here for South by, and then while they're thinking about it, they go, let's go steal some stuff.
Maybe.
From the affluent community of Dripping Springs.
Yeah, who knows? Well, like what I said at the beginning, it's also rodeo season. Dripping Springs Rodeo is much later. It's not until May, so it's much, much later. But the big Houston Rodeo is going on, which is the best rodeo in all of rodeo land. That goes on from March 4th to March 23rd. I'm going there this Saturday.
Oh, lucky you.
The Austin Rodeo is going on. I was there this last Saturday. It was just the barbecue cook-off, but the carnival's going on. If you guys are looking for something to do with the kids, they do have the mutton busting, and I don't know, the barbecue. The barbecue was this past weekend, but they have the fair and rodeo from the 14th through the 29th. Obviously, I think next week, by the time this airs, it's going to be spring break here in Dripping Springs, so traffic should be a little bit better driving around for school. We shall see. Fort Worth they already had their rodeo in January, and San Antonio already had their rodeo in February. So this is just
I wish the Dripping Springs one would happen a little earlier, because I've been there in May and June, and it's freaking hot.
It's really, really hot.
Metal roof.
Along with rodeo season and break-in season and the donut place opening, it's also fire season in Dripping Springs. With the winds, the burn ban is going on until March 12th, which is tomorrow, but they may extend it. But I think it was last week, alerts were sent out on people's phones. And that all kind of comes through the Hays County Sheriff's Office. And it's the Hays County Office of the Emergency Services. And you can sign up for text or emails. You can get
I didn't sign up for them, and everybody that was around me got them.
I signed up for them. I signed up for them today because I think I used to be on it, and I think they changed the system.
I think that's a flawed system, because Holly was driving home and she got those text alerts, and it was for a fire in Kyle, and she was calling me all panicked. Do we need to evacuate?
Yeah, it said evacuation.
But it wasn't very specific. It said the neighborhood, and you can't go on Google Maps and search for a neighborhood. If it said it was off of this street, you could search that street. They need to be a little bit better about telling people where that is. Just telling the entire county that you've got to evacuate is, I think, a mistake.
Yeah, so they need to just kind of fix that little flawed system. But I bet you didn't know this. The Hays County Sheriff's Office now has a podcast. It's going to provide a fun and engaging way to inform and connect with their community. So
that's cool.
They're not quite on Apple. They're on Podchaser, I think is what it's called right now. But then they will be on all of the other platforms. But I don't know what kind of format it's going to be, if they're going to take questions or viewers or guests. Or
do we know who's running that? Or do they have a host for that?
I don't. I'm going to reach out to Sheriff Hippolito and ask him. But I thought that's, another good way to kind of stay informed.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
But yeah, so there's a lot going on right now in the
There's a lot
springtime.
going on. Well, I've been reading about something that the Texas legislature passed late last year. It's a new provision of the Texas Property Code, brought to you by Mallet Integrity Team, that requires the appraisal districts to create a plan for periodic reviews of homestead exemptions to confirm that the recipients of the homestead exemption still qualify for the exemption. So, remember that they've increased how much the homestead exemption is.
Yeah,
they
so
did
what
that
does that
last year.
mean in real world language?
Part of it is the people that are getting that exemption, they just want to make sure that they're qualified. So, and every county is going to do this different. So right now, Travis County is mailing out verification. So if you get something in the mail from Travis County about your homestead, don't ignore it, because if you don't respond, they will remove your homestead exemption and you'll lose a lot of tax money.
That sounds like a good gateway to scams and frauds, too.
It does, yeah. So, well, if you get it in the mail, be careful and don't verify it before. Go to the website or call them to make sure. But right now, Hays County is offering both online and mail-in applications to confirm that you're qualified for the home.
Can you preemptively do it instead of waiting for? Do you know that?
I don't know that.
Because,
well, if you don't have one now, you can apply for it. But what this is you have one, and they're going to send you something and say, "Are you still qualified?" And you got to send them your ID showing that you live there. And if you don't, they will remove it. Here's what I don't know. I was trying to get some clarification on this. So say you get something in the mail this month and it's asking, is your homestead, are you still qualified for your homestead? And they remove it, and then a month later you find out, hey, you guys removed my homestead. I don't know if you go back in and reapply, if they will apply it to this, say, 2025, or if they're going to charge you the higher tax amount until they put the homestead back on next year.
Because the U.S. Postal Service is so reliable.
It's so reliable. Those guys are just the bomb.
Okay, who is sending? It's the appraisal district?
It's the appraisal district. Williamson County, I think, is doing it all electronically. So every county is going to do it differently.
This is a stupid idea.
The biggest takeaway from this for our listeners is, if you get something in the mail or an email, don't assume that it's just spam or somebody trying to sell you something. Verify it and make sure that you're not going to lose your homestead, because it's a lot of money now.
So this is coming down from the state of Texas? Is that what this is coming down from?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
From the Texas legislature.
I think property taxes are a scam and we need to do away with them.
From your mouth to God's ears, I hope. Yeah.
Totally.
So there's your public service announcement about your homestead taxes.
Do you have any vacations planned here pretty soon? Aren't you going to Grand Canyon?
We're going to go to the Grand Canyon in April to do rim to rim to rim, and then hopefully we're going to go backpacking in July again. We haven't planned that trip out, but what about you?
So I'm going to Carousel, I think it's how you say it.
Carousel
in November, and then we're looking at going with friends to Charleston, and we're probably going to go to Oregon to see my son.
Tate.
But we always fly Southwest. Like Southwest is
I love Southwest.
is my go-to. I have a Southwest credit card. We put everything on our Southwest cards, like everything. So much so, and my husband travels for business, so he's A-list preferred. And I'm also on his companion pass, so it's nice. So I can fly for free.
Yeah.
But Southwest just basically screwed all their people that are very loyal. I have been a loyal Southwest Airlines flyer since the 70s when my parents were divorced, and my mom would stick me.
That was about when the airline was new.
It was brand new. It'd stick me and my two brothers on a plane to New Orleans, and we'd go see my dad, and we'd have the run of the airplane. Well, their whole motto was bags fly free. Nope, no more.
Oh, no way.
No more.
No bags fly free?
Unless you are A-list preferred or business select, you will get, so if you're A-list preferred, business select, you will get 2 free checked bags and 1 for credit card holders, right? I always took 2 bags because I pack a lot. I overpack. All others will now pay for luggage starting May 28th. So from May 28th on, so they have a new CEO in Southwest Airlines. They've also messed around with the earning level, the points that you get, the Rapid Reward points. So it used to be like so many points for your want to get away tickets and your business class, and now they've cut all of those down. So that was actually immediately implemented.
Wow. When are they going to do the assigned seating thing? I thought that was going to be rolled out here pretty soon. So that's supposed
to be in 2026, but I know that Southwest Airlines was really hurting, and this new, I think his name is Elliot, this new CEO that has come in and has really changed things around. So a lot of people are ticked. You know what? I mean, I fly Southwest because not only because I fly free with Todd, but I use my Rapid Rewards points and I get free tickets. But if I'm going somewhere else now, I'm going to start looking around at other airlines. Is there
another airline that, like, there's the real budget ones like
Frontier.
JetBlue and Frontier?
Well, JetBlue's not as budget. I mean, JetBlue is kind of like the equivalent of what Southwest Airlines, I think, used to be. That you have a little bit roomier.
Yeah, the thing about Southwest is they have a lot of flights that go out of Austin. JetBlue doesn't have that many. What's the other one? Allegiant?
No.
Is it Allegiant?
Allegiant is the one like you have like chickens going up and down the aisle.
Yeah, but I think they have a couple flights that go out of Austin.
That's in actually whole different terminal.
It's in the General Aviation Terminal, but...
You have to check your foul at the gate.
But I mean... Southwest is still pretty unique in what they offer compared to like Delta and American, and those other airlines. They're always way more expensive. And a lot of places that I like to fly, they don't have direct flights.
I know Southwest had a lot of, and they just opened it where they were flying to Europe. I saw.
Oh, really?
And I think they did some partnership, like you can fly to Hawaii on Southwest, and they partner with Hawaiian Airlines. And I think it's Icelandic Air. Don't quote me on that, but I think, I don't know. There's some changes. I'm not happy. I mean, hopefully Todd maintains his A-list and.
Well, now I got to check that out because we were planning, if we're going to go backpacking in Oregon this summer, we're definitely going to fly Southwest because they fly direct. Do they fly direct?
No, they don't fly direct.
It's Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, well, I don't care then.
Yeah, whatever.
I want to talk a little bit about, we got invited to go to South by Southwest over the weekend, and I want to talk about that. But before I do that, this is kind of a segue into that. Have you ever waited in a long time in a line for a concert or a sporting event or a restaurant?
Yes.
Like, how long would you wait? What's the longest you think you've ever waited?
Not a restaurant. I thought waiting in line for a barbecue was stupid. So Franklin Barbecue, I've never waited in hours and hours in line. But for a concert, with my daughter, or to buy concert tickets, I probably waited like 4 or 5 hours to get
That's
tickets.
Actually pretty short. There's some events and things in the big cities where people wait hours and hours and hours, like 10, 15, 16 hours. There are now companies, though, you can outsource your standing in line.
So I've seen that, yep.
They're called line standers. And there's apps. There's a couple of them. One's TaskRabbit, same old line dudes, and Skip the Line. And they all charge a different way, but most of them, it's a set fee for a certain number of hours. You can pay somebody to go stand in your place in line. And some people are mad about that. It's like, well, you're paying them, but it doesn't change. The person behind you, it doesn't affect them at all. They don't get in any later because there's a line dude. Other than maybe you could argue, well, if you didn't pay that person, then you wouldn't be in line.
I'd probably be a little ticked off if I sat in line for 10 hours and then the person in front of me all of a sudden switched places with this refreshed freshly peed, hydrated person.
Hydrated. Well, it's actually getting more common for a lot of really high demand restaurants to not offer reservations. So this line thing is starting to become more of a deal where, you know, if you want to go to this really, really popular restaurant, the only way to get in is to wait in line. So people are hiring these line standers to wait in line for them.
You know what was funny? Speaking of a restaurant, so Todd and I had reservations at Red Ash. This was in December. And Red Ash, the original one, had burned down. It's very popular, right? And so we had reservations, and we got there. I think our reservations were like at 5:30 or 5, whatever. Let's say they opened up at the exact same time. So we got there about 10, 15 minutes before. So we're in line, or we're not in line. The door's not open yet. So we're sitting there waiting. All of a sudden, this whole group of people started coming in and started getting, because we were kind of off to the side, just, giving them a little bit of time to open the door. And we were there first, right? So they unlocked the door, and this whole group of people start coming in there and start saying, we want a table, because I guess they're trying to get in before all the reservation people. And I just skedaddled my way up. Of
course you did, Michelle.
Well,
I was like,
I have a reservation.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's just so maybe that's what people are doing.
It might be,
really early. And
there's a couple things that are happening. So like same old line dudes charge $50 for 2 hours. If the weather's bad, which I think means if it's raining or if it's super hot, they charge more. Or cold. And what's happening a lot is people will pay to have somebody sit in line, and maybe they go, well, just wait in line, and then after 2 hours they're only halfway up and they go, forget it, and they don't even go in. So they paid the line dude and they don't even go in. That happens a lot.
Why would they do that?
Well, because they don't know. Is the wait 4 hours? Is it 6 hours? I don't know. So let's pay this guy $50. He stands there 2 hours. There's still an hour and a half wait. I'm like, I'm too hungry. I can't wait another hour and a half. And
I'm in it to win it.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And I'm in line. I'm going.
Well, I bet you. I don't know if these services are offered in Austin, but we got invited to go to South by Southwest on Friday for Jay Maselli's Red Thread house. And I'll bet you there's some line standers down there. There was so many people downtown in Austin, but that was very cool, wasn't it? We were sat in on some technology panels talking. The one that got me the most interested was the should AI be your friend? And that was pretty eye-opening, wasn't it?
It was.
That these technology companies are having conversations about how do they integrate these AI like robots and interfaces in our life?
Let's see if it's because my computer's not hooked up to my
are you
microphone.
trying to get to
I was going to hook it up, but
so gosh, Michelle just broke her mic. She just did that right on air. So I'll talk while you try and fix that. There's an app that Sam Altman, who I'm going to stop for a sec. Did it break?
No. What is it?
Well, you got to...
Oh, I got to turn it, because if I were to...
Well, no, it's got to go. Yeah,
this is YouTube.
That's really loud. Here, hold it for a second.
Okay. Oh, maybe I should...
Technical difficulties, folks. Sorry.
My microphone came off. There we go.
Push it up a little bit.
Okay. Back. And we're back.
Okay, so we were talking about AI.
AI.
Wow, a little technical difficulty there. Michelle's breaking the studio right now.
My microphone fell off.
Tech support came in and fixed your microphone. But they talked about this thing that Sam Altman's doing called Sesame.com. And for all our listeners, you should go. It's just www.sesame.com. And there's an AI interface that you can have conversations with. And I guarantee you, if you talk to them for 5 minutes, you will start to feel like you are talking to a human being.
Yeah,
and that is creepy as hell.
It was creepy. We were playing with it the other day. There's the Milo and Maya version on Sesame.
Yeah.
And you can do the demo. And it was like, it was being sassy.
Yeah.
Milo was, the male was. He was sassy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah. So they talked about this uncanny divide, which is where we are right now, where we're all a little bit nervous about this whole AI thing, becoming friends with AI. And how do these tech companies cross that divide to where we're okay having robots in our house taking care of our kids and driving our cars and doing our shopping for us and handling our banking and all the things.
And dealing with our lonely parents, because ethically I didn't have.
One of the guys on one of the panels was talking about, you say you have your 80-year-old mom and she's living alone and she doesn't have any friends. Well, you could have this AI in her house and she could talk to it all day and it would tell her about her day and prompt her to do things. And my thought was, doesn't that just prevent her from getting out of the house and actually making a real friend? And a woman in the audience said, a friend is something that you aspire to. You seek that person out and you invest in that person and you learn about them and they learn about you and you build a relationship. You're not doing any of that with AI.
No. And I see it happening right now with our youth and gaming.
Yeah.
And so even though there's a lot of times there's real people on the other side of the gaming, it's not tangible. They're not able to break bread with these people in person. But the thing that I'm most concerned about, I'm not for a lot of government regulation, but I think there needs to be some government regulation in some sort of disclaimer or notice that's saying you are either talking to AI or some
there
sort of...
is some of that already, but I think it's more self-regulation. Like if you post a picture that's AI generated, I think it has to be watermarked. Not everybody's doing it, but I think it's supposed to be watermarked as generated by AI.
No, on TikTok, one of the things I see over and over and over again is these AI pictures of them taking... What are those things that attach? I can't remember what they're called. These things that attach to whales, those the shells or that they pick off.
Barnacles?
Barnacles. And so they're like these big boats will come up to a whale and they'll scrape the barnacles off and you're like, it's so AI. And then like they did one like where there's a polar bear covered in barnacles. No, it's not.
Yeah. And some of it looks really real.
But it's hard to tell what is real and what's not. And if you're talking to this guy Milo, he's sassy. He's like me.
He was picking up on your sass. That's how that works. So if you're real calm and demure and quiet, then Maya or Miles will be that same.
He even heard laughter in the back. Carlisle was laughing in the back and goes, "Who's giggling back there?"
Yeah.
That was kind of weird.
Within a few minutes, you start to feel like you are talking to a human being.
I kind of feel like that when I talk to you.
Yeah, but you're not ever really talking to a human being. There probably are some things that will be good in the future. Like he was talking about somebody that is maybe developmentally handicapped and they could, self-driving automobiles. That maybe opens up the world to them in a way that, they're not capable of getting on a bus or a train, but they can get in a car that drives them to some place where they can have social interaction or a job or something. So there are some good things about this. The thing that creeps me out is these companies with billions and billions of dollars trying to figure out a way to make AI our friend. And I don't think there's a world that exists where AI will truly be our friend.
Well, my husband's an engineer, and we've talked about this a lot in our house because are we training AI to do his job? And eventually AI is going to be training AI, right? So they're not going to be any programmers per se. But then I was talking to my son who's in med school right now, and I'm like, aren't you kind of worried? And he said, well, there's a whole other AI portion to med school, the robotic surgeries and stuff like that. But there is nothing to be able... There's nothing going to be able to replace that human touch, that human connection.
I don't think that ever goes away. But it was a fascinating day. We got some content out of that, and we met some really cool people.
Steve peopled.
Yeah, I did. I peopled.
We got stuck in traffic, which
we
is
did.
awful.
Yep, South by Southwest traffic. But it was a fun time, and I thank Jay Maselli and Red Thread for having us out there. And I was tired after that. There was a lot going on down there.
Yeah, I was tired.
It was fun.
Too.
So let's take a little break and get Willem Visser in here and talk to him about what he's got going on. Hang on, sit tight. We'll be right back.